I'm Chef Jasper, and today we're in the kitchen preparing a delicious dish. Very easy to make, a lot of ingredients. It's called Enchilada Suiza. I did not even know until recently what Suiza meant. I've had this out at restaurants. My wife loves to prepare this dish, but I didn't really realize that Suiza is after the Swiss. That's right. The dish is actually named because they used to put Swiss cheese on top, a lot of cheese, so it would be in the manner of the Swiss. I love food history. A little bit more about that in a little while, but let's get started on the sauce itself. So we want to start off with a basic verde sauce. It's a green sauce, of course, but it's not difficult at all. We're going to put in some cilantro into our blender. And of course, we're going to follow that with some onion. Now, I cut the jalapeno in half. I used half of the seeds. It is very, very hot. Depends on what you want. Put the whole jalapeno in with the seeds, if that's the way you like it. The tomatillos, very, very easy to peel. You'll see them in the stores. And all you do is either get a knife or just, come on, look at that. And then just cut these in half. It takes about 3 or 4 seconds, and that's it. Now, we'll put that into our blender. Okay, this is up to you. We'll start a little bit of, I don't know, we'll say some more seasoning, but remember, these are the basic ingredients to the sauce, and I don't want to add my crema just yet with this. We can't forget the garlic. Oh, and look at the size of this garlic. So, you know, kind of to be the judge, we don't really have to measure this sauce exactly. And now, let's just put this on just for a second and kind of crush everything up. Now, as this is starting to go right now, I will be adding very quickly a little bit of chicken broth. And now we add the chicken broth. Let's add just half of it. And then pulse our blender. And that should do it. At this point, we're going to stop for a few. Add some butter to a saute pan. Add a little bit of flour. And we're going to make a roux. I don't know why, but this always smells so good making a roux. And once I have the roux finished, make sure we mix it all up. You don't want to cook it too much. We're not looking for a dark roux or anything like that. It's just a thickening agent, just the butter and flour. Set that aside. We're going to add the remaining crema. To our mixture. And here we go. This is just something else, a Mexican crema. Look at that. You can use sour cream also, but oh my. Thick and rich. This just makes the sauce. Now, just a little note. If you don't think it's hot enough, I brought some red pepper flakes, but I think the jalapeno is hot enough. Believe me, I tried it before. I know it is. Now we're just going to let this cook down. While this is cooking down, we don't want to boil over or anything like that, so continue to stir. We don't want to stick. We're going to start our filling. Okay, I love the rotisserie chicken. You buy it in the grocery store. I use it in so many recipes. No, it's not a cheat. It's already finished for you. So just take it off the bone. We'll add that. Okay. Now, the cheese, of course. I like the Mexican blend. I didn't put this on top. That's up to you, because I really want that Swiss cheese color. That's what it's called. Now, I don't understand this. It doesn't call for Swiss cheese. It's called Suiza. You can use Swiss cheese. Here's a Monterey Jack. We're just going to use about half of this. The other half we're going to put on top when we bake. And a little bit of the chili peppers. Oh my gosh. You can just get these in the grocery store. Rellenos, whatever you want to use, chop up, you know, that just gives it more flavor. a little bit of cumin, and then, of course, we're going to saute some onions very, very quickly here because, again, this is going to give our dish a lot of flavor. So add a little bit of butter, heat that up in the pan. Here we already have our onions already mixed and chopped up. How simple is that? And just continue to cook this down. We don't want a nice heavy caramel on this, caramelization. So we'll just let this saute just for maybe about 3 or 4 minutes. I like a little crispy, a little bite in my onion, so I don't cook it down all the way. At this point, we're just going to mix this up, and then we'll start filling our tortillas once I finish with the onion. We're just finishing up sauteing these onions. Remember, I don't want them browned. I don't want any caramelization. Still want a little crunch, but I want that flavor to come out. We'll add this to our mixture. Don't want to waste any of that. And of course, let's just give this all a toss here. Mix it all up. That chicken, oh my, it's just going to be perfect in here. Kind of cut up that chicken a little bit more if you'd like. You could shred it. I don't like mine shredded. I mean, here, this would be about what I want right here. Just about like that. I want some chunks of chicken. Never really liked shredded chicken because then when it cooks down, we kind of lose everything. And it's more of a, almost not a puree, but it's not the same to me. I like to bite into it. Continue to mix this up. And we're just about ready to finish up our sauce. Let's bring this over. A little hotter stove here. It's starting to thicken up now at this point. That's a good thing. That's what we wanted. And I like the way the cilantro didn't blend all the way, so I didn't want to strain it or anything like that, of course. But look at the color this way. It looks so much nicer. And man, can I smell that right now? Oh my God. Absolutely love it. We'll be ready for that in just a few minutes. In the meantime, let's start building our enchiladas. All right, these tortillas, corn or flour, that's up to you. A lot of people like to get, a lot of cooks like to get a little bit of butter on these, and then they brush them, and then you roll them. That's up to you. I don't really think it's needed. Some cooks like to put a little bit of food release on this. That's also okay. And then I have a casserole. If you know me and my cooking, I called insurance. Yes, I may use a little too much, but that's okay. Just like this right here. Let's start there. And now, while our sauce is still cooking, I'd say another 2 or 3 minutes. By the time we finish rolling these enchiladas, give it one more mix, and we're going to start stuffing these enchiladas. And now it's time to fill these tortillas. Now this isn't difficult at all. A nice spoonful. I can give you a perfect measurement, but just do it this way. Now the seam side down, and I like mine kind of tight. That way or this way, doesn't really matter. I'm going to put about 8 in each one. We're going to make 16 with this mix. If you think it's a little heavy, just take some out and fold. And like I said, you can butter these beforehand if you'd like. I really never do. And it doesn't matter if it comes out the sides, that's okay. Actually, it's kind of better. Looks like casa, homemade. Now, as we're making this and we're finishing this, I want to tell you a great little story. Because like I said, I always like the history of a dish, and of course, Suiza. So I did my research, and I found out that there was a hotel called Hotel Imperio, and there's a little cafe in Mexico City called the same, the cafe in the hotel, and they would actually serve this dish back in the day, around the turn of the century. And then what happened? Well, the building was torn down, and Of course, the Sanborn brothers bought it. It is still there today, and it's a department store, a drugstore, a little cafe and cafeteria. And this is still the specialty in Mexico City when you visit that store. So it's kind of tradition. When I went down to Tijuana, of course, I had to go to a certain place to have the Caesar salad. When I went to Mexico City, of course, I had to go and have the Enchilada Suiza without any idea about the background of the term Suiza being Swiss. Let's get on now with this. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that 4 are going to fit in here, but let's put our sauce in here first. So here we go. Of course, we'll ladle this in the bottom, enough to cover the pan, your casserole. Don't be skimpy with the sauce. You don't want these to dry out, of course. We'll give one more here. And if your sauce is too watery, do not worry. You can always thicken with a little bit of cornstarch. And we'll just continue to put these in here. At this point, we're going to put a little more sauce on. And remember, if you made too much filling, which you're not going to, but you can always freeze that filling. So I've used about almost half of this sauce up. The other half will be for our next casserole. It makes 16. We're going to finish with just a little bit of the remaining cheese right on top. And if you want to, put a little Swiss cheese in there. I like that. I mean, it is Enchilada Suiza. Who knew? Finish that. And at this point, 350-degree oven for about 25 minutes until the sauce is bubbly and the cheese is melting. And here you have it. Enchilada Suiza, of course, from Cafe Imperia in Mexico City to the Sanborn Brothers department store and to your table. Something I would be proud to serve my family. Brought to you by Hen House Markets.